Welcome back, everybody. My name is BluJay, and we are back once again on the Unity SMP, ready for another episode today. In today's episode, we're going to play a little bit of catch-up with the rest of the crew on the Realm. A lot of people on here have shops already, and some even have multiple shops, and I don't have one yet. So we're going to finally crack down and get a shop built on the Realm so that we can start making some money on selling some items that people might want or need. What we're going to build is a wood shop. We're going to sell logs and planks and stairs and fences and all the kind of stuff that you can get from wood, and we're also going to sell some tools as well. So it'll be a lumber and tool store, and it'll be pretty cool. I've got a really good idea for a design that I've built in the testing world, and I hope you guys like it. So let's get into it, and we'll start building right now. One of the first things that we need to do today to get started is do a little bit of resource gathering. We need to gather up some concrete and some andesite. We already have a few of those things, but we're going to craft up some light blue dye right now with lapis and bone meal, and a lot of you guys told me that I could do this a while back because I was complaining that I couldn't get a blue bed. It was white, and I really wanted a light blue bed, and you're like, hey, you know you can use lapis, right? And you know you can combine that with bone meal to get light blue dye. Well, I didn't at the time. I do now. So I guess you live and learn, and it's part of the whole process of playing the game. Sometimes you know a lot about it, and sometimes people have to tell you because it's not exactly self-explanatory a lot of times. You have to do a little bit of research to figure out what you're doing. So we're crafting up some resources, getting this light blue concrete powder ready to go. And while we're doing this, one thing that I wanted to talk about with you guys is the future of the single-player series. If any of you guys watch that series, you might be a little surprised to know, if you haven't seen the announcement video or follow me on Twitter, that we have officially ended that series as of Monday. The Woodland Mansion episode was the last, unfortunately, and we're going to do a reboot when 1.2 finally releases. And the reason for this, short and sweet, if you haven't seen on Twitter or seen that announcement video, the reason is the world is slightly corrupt. And by that I mean, I walked 3 hours away from my base to find the Woodland Mansion, which that's a problem for one. And for two, when I tried to take a nap in the river so that I could respawn back at my base, it wouldn't reload. And some of you guys have commented that maybe I should just download the world download and start from there. Well, that doesn't solve the problem of things being far away. It solves the problem of the world being corrupted and not being able to reload. But, you know, I've already built the villager breeder, which is not that hard to rebuild. I could do that, but it does not solve the problem that some of the features that are coming out in 1.2 I won't be able to access because they will be so far away that it just won't be worth it. And I want to be able to show that kind of stuff off to you guys in my single-player world. And the other issue is that many of you that are watching this may not have seen my single-player series because I was already pretty deep into it by the time I joined the Unity server, and just from watching numbers on views per video and stuff like that, it just indicated to me that some of you might not have wanted to jump in super late. And so this is a fresh reset because the majority of you were not here when Unity started. I had 500 subscribers when Unity was not a thing for me. And as soon as I joined Unity, I went from 500 to, I think I'm over 6,000 now by the time this video comes out. And so there's a lot of new faces around here, and I think doing a reboot and a fresh start might interest some of you a little bit more because I'll be able to do some different things than I'm doing here, and it's just a whole different style of gameplay. So I'll talk a little bit more about what I think I'm going to do in that series when it officially reboots. It'll be Season 2 of the single-player Let's Play. But I don't want to talk a ton about that here just because this is the Unity series, and I want that to be its own thing, and I want the single-player series to be its own thing. But just for clarification, so you guys know and aren't shocked that it's disappeared off the channel for the time being, that's what's going on. So we'll chat a little bit more about that later in the episode, but that's all for now. Alright, so I've done a bit of resource gathering. I've got every kind of sapling there is. I've got some logs of every kind, and I've got some planks of every kind. And I've also got concrete and polished andesite, which we are going to gather right now, because those are the first couple of blocks that we need. to start out our building. Now, I want to go ahead and tell you guys what this building is going to be. I've already designed it in a creative testing world, and I thought to myself, hey, if I'm going to build over here right next to JackFrostMiner's shops, I'm going to have something a little bit more creative than just a square box. Now, this is going to be just a square box, but it's going to have a little bit of a twist to it. So when you think about, you know, a lumber store or tools or just construction in general, if you do any kind of home improvements yourself or you do any kind of building yourself, you're eventually going to need some sort of power tools, and one in particular that comes in handy for any kind of woodworking is a table saw. So I thought it'd be a fun idea to make our shop look like a table saw. So it essentially is just a square box building with a round disc coming out of the top. So I really like the idea. I feel like it looks good. And I was pretty happy with how it turned out on the testing world, and so we're going to build that here. Let me go ahead and get some of this frame in place, and then I'll come back when we've got a little bit more progress, and we can keep moving on together. Just a couple more blocks to place, and there you have it. There's our basic frame, and oh, ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Totally just missed that water puddle. Oh, okay, well, let's eat so we can regain some of our health here. But our frame is done, and now we need to grab the concrete that we have in our inventory, and there it is right there, light blue and white concrete. Went ahead and crafted that up off camera. If you don't know how to do that, well, you saw me craft the concrete powder earlier, but in order to transform it into regular concrete, you just need to apply some water to it, and that should do the trick. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to alternate a couple of blocks at a time. So it'll be like a row of white down at the bottom, and then we'll do a couple rows of blue and then another row of white or two. And I don't remember exactly what the design is off the top of my head, but I'll go back and check that here in a minute as we continue to build. But while we're chatting just now, I want to bring something else up. Q&A. This is something that I've mentioned quite a bit in my single-player series, but I'm not sure that I've ever mentioned it over here on Unity. If you guys have questions for me, I would love to be able to answer some of them. Not necessarily going to be able to answer all of them, but I do want to answer as many as possible. Some of them I will answer just directly back to you in a comment if I, can and have time to do so. Some of them I won't answer right away because I'll want to save it for the actual video and answer those on camera. So actually, you know what? We need to take these back out. That's our doorway. We don't want to block our doorway. But I will try to answer as many questions as possible, and that's something I want to do for you guys. So feel free to ask me any questions that you have in the comment section, whether it's about Minecraft or other games or something personal. I can't guarantee I'll answer all the personal questions, but feel free to ask anyway. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and answer a question right now. This question comes in from MasterJack1112, and he wants to know if you could choose between being a member of Hermitcraft or Unity SMP, which would you choose? This is a really interesting question, and the basic answer that I can give is I would choose Unity because that's already a thing. That's what I'm part of. And I don't see myself as the new guy or the outsider anymore. I feel very welcomed by this crew of people. There's a lot of really great people on here, not just like great YouTubers, great builders, great Minecraft players. They're all great people. Like, just from being able to chat with them a little bit offline and not in-game kind of stuff, they are all very, very friendly people and awesome to get to know. So just from personal experience, this is the direction that I would choose because this is where I am, and that's awesome. And furthermore, I'm Pocket Edition exclusive. I don't play PC. I've never played PC at all, so I wouldn't even know what to do to get started with that. Yeah, it's the basic same game, but the mechanics are a little bit different for redstone kind of stuff, and the controls are a little bit different and all of that. Would it be cool to be on Hermitcraft? Absolutely, because there's a lot of people on there that I really respect as content creators as well, but, that's not really what I'm looking for. this is where I'm at, and I'm super happy here. And a lot of the people that play on here, I watched a long time before I was ever a part of this group. I watched them on YouTube, watched their videos, and got awesome ideas from them. So if I had to choose, I would do this all over again every time. Unity SMP, such a great experience, such great people, such a fun time. Awesome question. More questions like this, please. Less questions like, what texture pack are you using? I'm happy to answer those, but more questions like this. I really enjoy answering these kinds of thought-provoking questions. Submit those in the comment section, and I'd be happy to answer some more. The next thing that we need to work on for the exterior of this build is to make it a little bit more recognizable as a lumber shop. Now, if you're standing this close, you're not going to be able to see the disc necessarily from the top anyway. You'll be able to see it inside because I'm going to have it run all the way down into the interior of the shop. But you're not necessarily going to be able to see it from the ground right here, and I need to build this up a little bit so I can reach. So to identify this as a wood shop a little bit more, we're going to line the entire exterior all the way around with logs of every type. And here's what I'm thinking. We will go over here and grab these logs first. So we need to get this stuff out of the way, organize our inventory a little bit. And we'll put oak wood and spruce and birch and jungle wood and acacia and dark oak. And you know what? Let's go ahead and move all this stuff while we're at it and move all of this over and make room for all of that right there. So we don't have to move it around once we're ready to go. Back over here. This is what I'm thinking. Let me show you. We're going to put 2 of each log right here on this white concrete, if I can get the right angle. Ooh, come on. You know what? Let me build it up, because we're going to have trouble, and I don't want to just jump on the ground. All right, up we go. 1, 2, 3. That should do it. Okay, so we're going to have 2 of each log in each section, 1 facing forward, 1 facing sideways. That's it. The basic premise is you are able to see the types of logs that you can buy, and you're able to see them from both angles that you would need to see them from, the front-facing side and the side-facing side. That's a little bit of weird phrasing, but you get the point. So we're going to do that all the way across and all the way around, and just kind of spruce up this building just a little bit, and then we'll move on. That's not looking too bad at all. I'm really happy with how that turned out. Let's jump on over here to the side so you can see that over here. We had to do a little bit of finagling to make this a little bit different along the sides because it's a rectangle. And as they say, all rectangles are squares, but not all squares are rectangles. So I don't know what that even has to do with anything, but it's good knowledge to know. So we are going to go ahead and build the dirt hill out just a little bit because we can't just have this building floating in midair. And we're not actually going to go and fill in all of this area. We're just going to cover over the top layer and build out the hill a little bit, so it looks a little bit more natural. And besides, we don't have enough dirt to fill all of that space in, and I don't feel like gathering it all, and nobody's ever going to see it. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And while we're doing this, one thing I want to talk about, I want to come back to that conversation we were having earlier about the single-player Let's Play reboot, and I know, I've already talked about it, and this is the last time we're going to talk about it in this episode, because I want Unity to be its own thing, and I don't want to dwell on a different series in the middle of another series episode. So, real quick, last time for today, what do you guys want to see? I value your feedback because I take suggestions for builds and video ideas. In fact, the snapped in half tree stump with the log laying off to the side, that was an idea submitted by one of you guys. And putting the enchanting room in the top level of the log stump house, that was also an idea that was submitted by you guys. So I value your input. What would you like to see in a single-player series reboot? I am going to limit it to probably a snow or ice spikes biome. I've already decided I want to do that. I don't have a seed yet, but I know I want to do that once 1.2 comes out. Let me know in the comment section what kind of base you would like to see, what kind of build you'd like to see, and I would really value that feedback. And let me know what you want to see furthermore in this series as well. Leave those in the comment section if you would. I've gone ahead and done some work off camera by placing down this oak slab floor, and underneath the floor, let's go over here and punch this out. You can see right there there are some torches underneath, and there are torches all the way across the floor to light this place up. And what we're doing right now is we are retexturing this whole thing by adding, you know, some spruce slabs and some birch slabs. We're just going to make it look a little bit more textured than just a flat floor. And this technique of lighting under the floor like this, I believe it only works in the Bedrock version. I don't think it works on PC or Java Edition as it's called. And I'm pretty sure that I've heard that from some other YouTubers, that this is only a Pocket or Bedrock version, whatever you want to call it, exclusive feature. So we're going to go ahead and take advantage of that, and hopefully they don't fix that bug, if it's even a bug. I think it's a feature, but hopefully they don't change that in the future, because this is a great way to hide lighting, and it's an easy way to hide lighting. You just put it under a slab floor. So I'm going to go ahead and keep retexturing this floor and probably do a little bit more work off camera, because this episode is starting to get a little bit long, like I said earlier. And we need to get this project finished so we can open for business. So I'll be back when we are ready to do something a little bit more to finish this thing up. We've got the floor done, and we've got the blade sitting in place. Down there you can kind of see it, but right now we are placing in the tabletop, or the roof, as we're going to call it, because this is a building and we need a roof. But it is the tabletop. And while we're doing this, something I wanted to mention, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this in any of my previous videos or not, but I feel like it's a good time to mention it now. I have started using a new screen recorder recently, and I don't know if you guys have noticed the difference or not. I believe it is a higher frame rate. It's a slightly lower resolution, but it's still high definition, which I'm okay with that. If it's a little bit less resolution, but it's a better frame rate and it's a better quality video, then I'm okay with that. The new screen recorder that I'm using is the built-in iOS 11 screen recorder that has officially been fixed. The beta was released, I think, a couple months ago at this point, and for a while, whenever you had landscape recording, it would squash your video, and you'd have to do some magic behind the scenes to fix that, and I didn't want to go to all that trouble because I had a working system for a while. But this is going to be a little bit of a better result for us, I think. So we're going to start using the iOS 11 screen recorder in case you guys are curious, and why that is important is this. Because of some issues that I've been having with my computer, I haven't been able to do collaboration kind of stuff because of necessary inputs and USB ports and all of that kind of stuff. Now that I've freed up a port on my computer, I am going to be able to do collaborations now, which is nice. So I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to do that, but I'm going to start talking to some of the people on the server, and we'll try to plan something out. I've got a couple of really fun ideas that I've seen some other YouTubers do that we could do together on here, and would be enjoyable for you guys to watch. But I'm not sure when that's going to happen just yet. I know I want it to happen soon, but at the time that this video releases, it'll either be within probably the week that we are having our kid, or had already happened. So if you see a sudden drop off of videos because the pre-recorded videos have run out, be sure to check my Twitter. I haven't disappeared. I haven't quit YouTube. I'm not going to stop uploading, but I can only do what I can do early on with a new baby. So the collaborations might have to wait a little bit longer. I do have them on the radar. I'm going to do them. But just be on the lookout for maybe a sudden drop in videos and activity on the channel if the pre-recorded ones do indeed run out. So don't freak out. Don't worry. I will be back, and we'll be back with plenty more awesome content for you guys to watch and hopefully enjoy. All right, guys, we're getting close to being done with this shop and hopefully opening for business real soon. What we need to do now is place down these chests so that we have a place to store the items we're going to sell. Hello, double chest. What's going on? Why don't you link up? All right, let me grab an axe. We'll break it. Oh, that was weird. I guess it just needed a couple of minutes to catch up, to catch its breath. Okay, so we're going to place these double chests all the way around. I've subdivided the entire shop into double chest segments, just like this, and I've got a specific layout of how I want them to go. And you remember back earlier in the episode when we placed the logs outside with one front-facing and one side-facing, we're going to do something very similar to that. We're going to place down the items that you're going to want to see. I think I need to break this. Let me get my axe back out again. Because of the way trapdoors work, I've got to be behind it in order for it to go to the front of the block where I want it to go. So we will place that down right there, and there we go. Perfect. So you get the idea by seeing that there. We want the items that are going to be sold to be visible from the front. You know what? I need to do this as well. Man, just having to do these... Oh, I don't want that there. Having to do these little tricks just to get these items on display. Let me tell you, the fence gates do not go down unless there's a block underneath them. That's something I learned from building this in the testing world. So there's that, and then we should be home free from here. There's fences, and then our slabs, not slabs, planks. We'll put that down here and here. And nope, we actually don't want that. We want oak first because... we've got it in a particular order, and now that I think of it, it's actually one block per side of the chest, so it'll be oak and spruce sharing a chest. Otherwise, we're going to run out of room. Forgot about that as well. So now we've got all 6 types of planks, and now we need to do our logs. The logs are going to get their own dedicated chest because I feel like we will probably have more of those, and honestly, that'll probably sell more than the planks or stairs, unless people just don't want to craft them themselves, but you get a lot more bang for your buck if you buy logs versus the already pre-crafted planks, slabs, stairs, etc. So hopefully we can sell some stuff in here. Wood is something you're always going to need, whether it's for, crafting new tools or building a house or a base or anything like that. There's always a need for wood supplies. All right, that's about it for the shop. I'm going to put some item frames around here where we're going to put our tools and different things that won't be able to go directly on the wall. And then we'll call it a day. So let me take care of that. I'll do that off camera real quick, and I'll be right back with you in just a sec. Well, the interior is done, but as I was taking a look at it, there's one thing I forgot to do, and it's a big facepalm moment here. We built a table saw, but the blade, as you can see, I've done a little bit of slabbage and stairage there. The blade is floating. Now, there's windows around it, but it's not supported by anything. It needs the little rod that goes through the middle so that it can rotate around the axis and spin like a table saw should. So we're going to cut this out here, and the design that I've got in mind that I've already done in my testing world utilizes iron bars right here, just as the connectors to the center rod that it rotates around, which is going to be spruce logs. All right. So let's go on around over here and place this down. Right there. And one more right there. Perfect. That blade is finished, and now it is structurally sound, and it's not gonna, fall on any unsuspecting victims. I mean, customers, that's what I meant. It's not gonna fall on our customers while they're trying to pay us for our supplies. Let me grab my axe again here, and then we'll go down and check out the interior one last time. All right, let's double check. Yep, looks pretty good. The blade is not going to fall on us, and as you can see, we've got all of the items in place. We've got our fences and slabs and planks, and we've actually preloaded some of them. I did a bunch of tree farming off camera, and it took quite a while to get just one stack of each in each chest. So I'm going to have to stock this over time, and I'm going to have to build a tree farm if we're going to keep up with this, because it's going to take quite a while to restock the joint. So over here, here's what I'm thinking. Logs, 1 stack for 1 diamond, 3 stacks for 2 diamonds. So to entice people to buy a little bit more and spend more diamonds. And I'm out of stock of some stuff right now, and I'll finish these signs off camera, but you get the gist of the idea. So our shop is complete, and we are ready to open for business, I think, right now. Well, guys, that is it for today. We have completed our shop, and we are open for business, ready to sell our lumber and tools to the Unity SMP. I hope we get some sales from this, and it'd be nice to, contribute to the economy of the world. And that way, maybe I can go buy some more stuff from the other shops as well. I've bought a few things from, I think, each of the people that have a shop on the server, except for maybe one or two. But as more shops open, I'm sure we will go shopping a lot more, and maybe we'll make that an episode. Maybe we'll, or at least part of an episode. I don't know how interesting that would be for an entire episode, but we'll go around and check out what there is to buy on the realm, and maybe spend some diamonds or iron or gold or whatever they're charging in their individual shops. And we'll do that in the future. Let me know what else you guys would like to see on the Unity SMP, because I want this to be a community-contributed idea kind of thing. So I want to build your ideas, I want to at least consider them, and do stuff that you guys are interested in. So if you have an idea, please put it in the comments section. Can't promise that all of them will get done, but I will at least take a look and consider how I can incorporate your ideas into my own, and we can do this thing together. So, as usual, let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you'd like to see in the future. But for now, my name is BluJay, and I've got to fly on out of here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.